Western Mass News is your school authority.
The special needs community is encouraging parents to advocate for their children as they head back to school, making sure students are getting the services they're entitled to and may have missed out on over the pandemic.
11-year-old Charlie shows off his skills on the court. Sinking baskets seems to come easy to him. Learning to read did not.
It was just clear that he couldn't communicate as clearly as other children his age.
Charlie's mom, Diana Schwartz, noticed his language was lagging at an early age, but literacy screenings in first grade failed to catch his dyslexia. He wasn't diagnosed until the end of third grade, though kids at risk of reading disabilities can be identified much earlier.
Which in our case would have made a tremendous difference in getting him help sooner.
Early detection leads to early intervention, and that's much more effective during the kindergarten to second grade years.
It's easier to work with those skills when kids are younger and their brains are more adaptable.
Reading specialist Ben Tobin, who tutors Charlie, tells Western Mass News children with special needs slip through the cracks all too often.
If a kid is struggling with reading in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, that doesn't go away unless it's addressed, because reading is not a natural skill.
Just last year, DESE released new statewide guidelines requiring kids be screened for dyslexia in kindergarten, first and second grade. The change was the result of a 2018 law prompted by the advocacy group Decoding Dyslexia, which Tobin belongs to.
We have to also make sure that this doesn't keep happening and we don't have this sort of pipeline of students coming into higher grades who are missing skills.
He says if you suspect your child has a learning disability, don't wait. Ask your school district to conduct an evaluation. The district has an obligation to diagnose and evaluate the needs of a student and then propose an individualized education program, or IEP, to get them the services they need.
When you have a child with a disability, we were very aware that this was not, like being remote was not a good option for him.
Schwartz says Charlie experienced learning loss over the pandemic across the curriculum. Studies show students with special needs saw a greater rate of regression. Parents Together Action, a national parent-led organization with community members in every state, surveyed 1,500 families throughout the pandemic and found only 20% of students were receiving the services they were entitled to under their IEP, while 39% were not.
We all have to make sure that we're working to provide the resources needed to make sure all of our students are receiving the support that they need to make up for the learning loss that was experienced.
Tobin says kids not getting the extra help they need can often manifest as depression, anxiety, or behavior problems.
During school, you'll see kids be like a bully, class clown. They're going to do something to take the focus away from the fact that they can't read, or they are struggling with reading in a way that's very visible.
Charlie is headed to middle school this year with all the tools he needs to be successful. His mom is urging other parents to know what they're entitled to under state law, including services they may have missed out on over the pandemic.
You are their biggest advocate, and it can be very exhausting and lonely and upsetting. But at the same time, it can be the most rewarding experience that you have as a parent.